Hello everybody, it's Vinyl Richie. I'm drinking Coke in this one. Harmony Udo, I believe is his name. He called me out. My last video. He says, I'm not cool. No, this guy's not cool. He's an alcoholic. Listen to his slurred speech. Fuck. Actually, I'm not drinking a beer because I'm going to work later tonight, and I never drink on days I work. But thank you, Harmony, for being concerned. But whatever. I've made one video where I was kind of buzzed, and I said fuck a lot on that video. But yeah, there's only been one video I've made while buzzed. I'll leave a link to it maybe. If I can find it. Who knows? There's so many videos now. Anyways, this is Vinyl Finds. My Personal Grail finally came in. The record that I ordered because of Mazzy came in. And the record I ordered because of Dead Wax 66 came in. Freaks in the Garage, I guess. And I got a few other ones. So I'm going to just get through to it. This is Death in June. And it's Nada. I think this might be their third studio album. I'm not sure. I believe it's the only album from the 80s that I did not have by this band. Very plain back. And Ryan Roswell did a really good Death in June video. And he talked about all these knives, what they are, and the skull. And I don't know where he gets his information. But yeah, it was pretty informative. But you don't get that here. But anyways, this is kind of a transitional album. It starts off the first song, The Honor of Silence, I believe. It's more of it's kind of an acoustic sounding. Well, let's just put it this way. It's got some songs that are kind of industrial, and some that have the what would later be his neo-folk. But the ones that do have the acoustic guitar, they do have drums, and they do have, but you can start hearing, it's like it's not my favorite album by any means. It's kind of, it doesn't flow like some of the other ones. It's a great album. It has all good songs on it, but it's just like it's two different ideas put together. Current 93 is on this one. In fact, the second song, I believe it's The Calling. It sounds like it would be a great Depeche Mode song, you know? It's a schizophrenic album, kind of. But I dig it. And I wanted all the Death in June from the 80s. They are one of my favorite bands from the 80s. And I've talked to them about them before. And this is a Personal Grail. The Death in June records are very expensive. Unless you get some of the newer ones. And even those, they go up in price very quickly. And this guy had make an offer. So I put in an offer at 40% off of what his asking price was. And he accepted it. So I jumped on it. I think once they accept your offer, you're kind of tied in. But anyways, this is the inner sleeve. The lyrics on the back, or the word. It's got words, like the Vinyl Douche would say. And it's on that NER label. Very cool stuff. Death in June. They have a lot of their shit on YouTube. You can check them out. Now this next one I bought because of Mazzy. And it's Surrealistic Pillow. It's an album I already have. In fact, I have all of the Jefferson Airplane studio albums. And this, I believe, was the last one I ever got. I was waiting for a good original. Well, this is the MoFi edition, and it's the 2 record set one at 45 RPM. Now, I've always said I don't like the idea of a single album on 2 discs, and I'll be honest with you, I still don't like it. This is the gatefold, which to me is kind of a waste. It's got the name of the album, and then it's got the tracks, when it was recorded and that. But they could have done better, I think. I could have done better than that. Anyways, it does sound really good. But for me, I don't like the idea of a single album on 2 discs. And I don't think I'll go down that route. I guess the audiophiles, like Mazzy said, this really isn't an audiophile album. Never was. This is probably the best sounding version of this album ever. And that's fine. But going down that rabbit hole gets kind of neurotic as far as I'm concerned. I mean, if you're that concerned about, oh, this is the best, you're never going to be happy. It's always going to be one thing, it can be one little step better, and that's not me. I mean, I listen to noisy ass, crappy ass shit, so. But I'm glad I have it. And it comes with this MoFi insert, and it shows all the records, which most of them they're out of stock on. Now, I was tempted, man. They have one of my favorite, the early David Bowie, Bob Dylan is and it's not even on here. They do have the double Superfly. I was tempted to get that, but it's two albums on 1 disc. But they also have a couple of the early Bob Dylans, another side of Bob Dylan. That's one of my favorite Bob Dylan albums. That and the Free Willin'. Those are my 2 favorite of the early ones. The times they are changing. It's okay. I mean, it's good, but I don't think it's as good as the other 2. And this debut one is definitely not as good. And again, it's on thick-ass vinyl. And that's what the labels look like. Similar to my other... I do have 2 other MoFi records that I bought. And that was because of Melinda Murphy. Or I got the idea from her. It wasn't because of her. I mean, thank you. And I did pick up one other one, and it's the Sisters of Mercy, Floodland. They have both of their albums, or 2 of their albums on the MoFi website, and they're not that expensive. But I have the other one, so I didn't feel a need to get it. I do not have this album. I have 2. I have this Corrosion and Lucreta. I have the 12-inch singles, but I didn't have the album. This is a really good sounding album. I'm sure, I haven't listened to this yet. I'm sure this is going to sound phenomenal because it already is a great sounding album. And there's Pat Bagg right there, Original member of the Bags, one of the original punk rock bands from Los Angeles. She later played with the Gun Club. She played with Sisters of Mercy. She went on to play with Damned, and she married the lead singer of the Damned. Whatever his name is, the Dracula-looking guy. And again, it's got that same insert. And, this one, it's the same design, but it is gray. You'd think the Sisters of Mercy would be black, It's what all the goth kids are into, the black. I heard even Bobby Gass is into black, He likes black. He likes wearing black, he said, Now this next one, I got because of Freaks in the Garage. Okay, I'm going to fucking say it. Dead Wax 66. He was playing this, I believe it was last Friday. I ordered it. He put it on, and I was listening to it. I got on my phone, and I went on Discogs, I believe. Yeah, I went on Discogs, and I found this copy, brand new, $10 plus shipping. It was $14, you know. It's the Gerbils, Dead Detroit. It's a 1982, the lost 1982 recordings. I guess they went into a studio in 1982, recorded a bunch of stuff, and none of it ever got released. And that's the kind of stuff I love. And yeah, it's the Gerbils, a Detroit punk band. And it's got a hype sticker on here, and man, you can hardly read it. But yeah, it's featuring members of Dada, Shock Therapy, the Necros, Negative Approach, and it's too hard to read. So I guess these guys were in those bands at one point. And I haven't listened to this one yet either. This one just came right now. And that's why I decided to make this video. What's really cool about it, it's got your standard guitar player, drummer, and bass player, and the vocalist. But the vocalist also plays synthesizers. It's got like Moog synthesizers on it. I don't think it's on all the songs, but it's pretty interesting. And I listened to it last week on Dead Wax 66 live show, and yeah, I go, oh yeah, this is cool. And very plain labels. The Gerbils. I believe it's limited to like, maybe, I don't know. I know it's limited. All these punk records are limited, but you can get it really cheap now. Get it while it's hot. Another one that I ordered, and I believe it's sold out, at least if you get it from the Nod Bandcamp page. And it's Nod and Whoa, Pius Felipe. I don't know. Everybody says, oh, Steve Carlson's the terrible at, you know, pronouncing names. I'm the worst, dude. Like Necros, I always called them Necros back in the day, you know. Back in the day, you didn't have the internet and all that. You just went by how it. And Husker Du or Husker Du, I used to call him Husker Du, but I guess it's Husker Du. But anyways, back to this. This is the type of shit that Mazzy would like. It's not as an interesting band. Their albums do not sound the same. They have some that are kind of just drony, really loud. They get into a groove. And these songs are the same. You know, that kind of that krautrock, you know, that they get into a groove like Can. This one though, it's more of jazzy feel to it. It's got sax in it, and I guess this guy here is a percussionist. So there's a lot of percussion going on. And it's an interesting album. It's not my favorite, but based on the stuff that Mazzy has been showing, he would love this stuff. You never see Nod shown in the VC. They had one album that was shown a few times. There was one guy that I unsubscribed from Australia. He showed some cool records, but he was kind of a snobby guy, and he never answered any of his comments. You know, people would comment. At first I thought it was me, you know, and then I went and looked. He don't answer any. So you know what? Fuck you, dude. I can't remember his name, but whatever. Oh yeah, we're supposed to be positive here. Forget what I just said. He's a nice guy. But anyways, it's interesting. There's really not a lot of vocals on it. I think you got Faca de Terra, Faca de R, I don't know, F-A-C-A, I don't know how to pronounce that shit. Looks like Faca to me. Faca de Fogo and Faca de Agua. So I guess this is in Spanish, but I don't know. You would think I would, you know. I'm married to a woman whose first language is Spanish, but anyways, I think the first song I said too is basically the only song that has any kind of vocals, and the vocals kind of blend in. It's almost like another instrument. But yeah, really cool stuff. Kind of ambient, which I'm not a fan of. Kind of jazzy, like I said, the sax comes out in this, and it's on this pink and gray. Really cool. I dig Nod, dude. One of my favorite bands, current bands. And I got two more that I picked up at the record store right before they closed down. Governor Gruesome from California. He's going to be running for president, guaranteed, in a couple of years. Don't vote for this fucker. He's a fucking maniac. He shut down California again. So I did a curbside with this guy. I went into the store once a few weeks back, and I saw these two. I saw one of them, and then I'll show that one first, actually. And I decided I'll get it, man. But yeah, Governor Gruesome. You got Walmarts here that are open, but they closed down the mom and pop shops, and for me it's plain disgusting. It's fucked up. You don't think this guy can manage his own store and maybe only let one or two people in at a time, make them wear masks? I mean, come on, man. If people can go into Walmart, why can't they go into a little store? You know, he shut down hair salons. But if you look at Gavin Newsom, somebody's doing his hair. I mean, he doesn't have a hair out of place, you know? And I didn't want to get into the COVID thing. The politicians and CNN and MSNBC, they have people scared of this thing. And rightly so to a degree. I'm still working. 3 people at my work got the COVID-19. 1 in the bottling side, I don't know who that is. But 2 on my side, on the brewing side, and I know who those are. 1 was a mechanic, and 1 was a guy that works in cold service in the exact room that I work in. He came to work. He worked all week. He was one of the guys that I work with on Graveyard. He said, you know, he was coughing, and he told him, hey, dude, if you're sick, you know, go home, you know. Turned out he had COVID-19. He got hospitalized. He's an older guy like me. I think he might be a year or 2 younger than me, but, you know, he's an old fuck. So he got it, and it fucked him up, but not so serious that, I mean, it started to, it fucks up with your lungs, you know. And 11 people took off because they became, you know, they went into they had immediate contact with him. And it turns out, you know, our company had, you know, when this broke out, they spaced out all the workstations to where we're more than 6 feet apart from one another. I think my dog found a fly. Yeah, he obviously found a fly. I'll tell that after this story. But you know, they social distance us in the cold service area. And this guy came to work. He was at work for a week. At least during that week, he was sick, probably the whole week. And nobody else got it. So if you're socially distanced, you're pretty safe, you know. That works. If I go into a store, yeah, I'll wear a mask. I mean, it's pretty much mandatory here in LA. But when I leave the store and I go outside, I take it off. If you're outside, especially in the daytime, you're not going to get that shit, man. That shit can't survive in sunlight. But anyways, I did a curbside, and I picked up this Bowie Diamond Dogs. Now, I have a history with this album. When I bought this might be the first Bowie album that I ever bought when it first came out. I bought Bowie kind of after the fact type of thing. I mean, it was in the early 70s, but it wasn't when the albums first came out. This one I bought when it first came out. Took it home, listened to it. I didn't like the production of it. It was really raw. I mean, I wasn't used to this, you know, that sound. And I returned it. Back in those days, you could, you know, it was easy to return albums, you know. You take it back. They go, okay, yeah, go get another one. You go to that section and you put the, like, maybe they had 2 more of these and you put it somewhere else. Or sometimes I would go and do that, then go and then come in. And I'd go, hey, you don't have that one, but, I got this, same price. Oh, okay. Because they didn't have computers back then, Oh, no, we show. But anyways, I did buy it. I ended up getting it again probably a couple years later. It's one of my favorites, I think Aladdin Sane might be my favorite. But anyways, I can't find the darn thing. I know I have it, but I can't find it. I have a few albums that I don't know where the hell they are. And this is one of them. So I figured, I'll buy this one. The only thing is, it's not the gatefold. It's just, but I figured, you know what? I know I have that other one. At least, I don't know what the fuck happened to it, but anyways, I got it again. So in my life, I've had 3 copies of that thing. And it's on this black RCA. I think, if I remember right, James Griffiths has the one that's not a gatefold. And I remember him commenting that he didn't even realize it was a gatefold. And the last one I got was, I asked him, do you have any Ty Segall? Because it's all done on the phone. Because I asked him, hey, do you still have that Bowie? He looked, yeah, okay, I got it. Do you have any Ty Segall? And he goes, yeah. And he listed the ones. Okay, I don't have this one. Goodbye Bread. This is when I saw Ty Segall last summer, he performed this album, the full album. Then he did other songs too. But so I figured, you know what, I'll get this album. And when I played it, I was kind of surprised. It almost sounds like that Demos. In fact, it doesn't almost. It sounds exactly like that Demos box. I want to get it. That Demos box set I bought of Ty Segall. And I looked, and it turns out, yeah, he plays all the instruments on this. And it's Goodbye Bread. That song is fantastic. It's one of his better songs. This is not his best album, but it's cool. I mean, I've never heard a Ty Segall album that I don't like. And it's on Drag City Incorporated. And that's it. That'll be my last Final Finds for a while, I think. Tonight is my last day of work. And then we're leaving. We're going up to Bakersfield tomorrow. And I'm going to continue removing wallpaper. Some of these rooms have 2, some of them have 3 layers of wallpaper. Oh my goodness. And every room has wallpaper. So, I don't know. Maybe I'll start making some home improvement videos, And shoot, if I do that, man, I'll go up to 30,000, 100,000 views or subscribers, This is how you remove wallpaper. This is how you lay a laminate floor, whatever. But that's what I'm going to be doing probably the next month. So I don't know if I'm going to be making any videos. I got some ideas. And in fact, I'm going to throw a couple of them to Mazzy. And maybe we'll do one of those, 2-in-1. I don't know what you call it. But I have no idea how to do that. He's going to have to hold my hand. But anyways, take care, everybody. Love you. Love you. Ooh, that angle looks low. Maybe my head was cut off.